Every day we use calendars to either determine the date or to plan for the future events, but the Aztec, Mixtec, and the Mayans interpreted and created it differently. All three civilizations have two or more calendars that consisted of a 365-day cycle and a 260-day cycle. They have them work together to form a 52-year century. There are some differences between each other. Starting with the Aztecs, the calendar that consisted of 365-day cycle is called Syncpology, which is considered an agricultural calendar, which is based on the sun. And the 260-day cycle is called topology, which is considered as a sacred calendar. The whole sacred idea started with the idea of delicate equilibrium and how it is in constant danger from being disrupted from the shifting powers of the gods, which leaves the world in blink of going under in a spiritual war. So to prevent this from happening, the gods have been given their own space and their own time, which is what topology tells us how the time was divided between the gods, which is what makes the Aztecs so different from Mixtec. Mixtec's calendars have different number pattern that ranges from 1 to 3 and that is followed by glyphs. The 365 calendar is very similar, but they have used the combination of their number, the sacred calendar and the solar calendar in a parallel pattern to find the combinations. For example, you start with the one crocodile, then you move ahead both the number and the day sign, going to 2 wind on the next day. You keep going until you hit the end 13 reed, then you rewind the numbers but continue with the day sign, hence yielding 1 jaguar. When you're exhausted all the day signs, you're at 7 flower, and you rewind the day signs to crocodile, but continue with the number giving you 8 crocodile. Very confusing, but very unique. Mayan calendars consisted of a system of 3 interlacing calendars, which is very popular in the Mesoamerica, but it was most influential during the period of the Mayans. There's a long count, there's a Zocan, which is a divine calendar, and there's the Hab, which is a civil calendar. All 3 of them work together to help them understand the date. The Zocan and the Hab identify and name the days, but not the years. But the long count date comes first, and then Zocan, and then the Hab. The Hab is 365 solar calendar, which is divided into 18 months of 20 days each, and 1 month which only consisted of 5 days long. The calendar has an outer ring of Mayan glyphs, which is pictures, which represent each of the 19 months. Each day is represented by a number in the month followed by the name of the month. Each glyph represented a personality associated with that month. But it wasn't accurate because it's only exactly 365 days long. But today we have a leap year, which adds an extra day in February. The Zocan is considered a sacred round calendar, which means the distribution of the days. It's 260 days calendar, which with a period of 13 days used to determine the time of religious and ceremonial events. Each day is numbered from 1 to 13, then it is repeated. The days also given a name, which is a glyph from a sequence of 20 day names. The calendar repeats itself after each cycle. The long count is an astronomical calendar, which is used to track longer periods of time, which is what the Mayans call the universal cycle. Each cycle is calculated to be 2 million days, about 7,885 solar years. The Mayans believe that the universe is destroyed and recreated at the end of each universal cycle. The calendar started in 15th century BC, and it's now even used in few Mayan community. It moves in a circle where the circle ended in December 2012, which was interpreted now as the world will end on on December 21st, 2012 at 11:11, and so on, which is where the whole idea of like the end of the world started. These are just few movies that represent the world end. 2012, Seeking a Friend, for the end of the world, Armageddon, Happening, The Core, The Day After Tomorrow, and so on. All these three calendars were very influential during each civilizations, and even now, they're a crucial part of many indigenous Maize community, and they have left a great legacy behind, which is what we still use.